In this video, we're going to take a look at a blue ink by KWZ Azure number 5. Now, as always, there's timestamps down below so you can skip around, but if you've got the time, I'd appreciate you checking out the entire video. Also, down in the description is a link to the blue ink playlist, so if you're interested in more blue inks, you can find that there. I'm an ink guy, and let's get into the first writing sample done on 90 GSM Clairfontaine. No bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade. The extra fine is lighter than the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 16 seconds to dry. Medium is the same tone as the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, 21 seconds to dry. Now the scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it, we didn't get it. And the smear test, you can't recover if you smear while you're writing. To have a range of experience with this ink, all of the writing samples are done with a Jinhao 159 with a 1.1 stub, a Jinhao X450 with a medium, and a Jinhao X750 with an extra fine. Then a Pelican M1005 with a medium nib was inked up, used for day, and used to take the notes for this video. The next writing sample is done on Tomoe River paper. No bleeding, some minor ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine is lighter than the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade, and 23 seconds to dry. Medium is the same tone as the stub, no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, 32 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show no color variation, and we're not getting it. And the smear test, you can't recover if you smear while you're writing. I agree with Vita. There's a lot to learn by doing multiple chromatographies. The one on the left is done the way it's supposed to be done. A line of ink is put down, and then it's put in the water for 10 to 15 seconds. And we see that this blue is really it's a true blue, pushing its way up away from the water. It's really fleeing from the water. The one on the right is let dry for 10 minutes before it's dunked in the water. And it doesn't travel as far as fast, and it does leave a little bit of blue behind, but I'm not expecting much resistance from this ink. The next writing sample is done on 80 GSM Rhodia dot pad. No bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade. The extra fine is lighter than the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 18 seconds to dry. The medium is just as dark as the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade, and 24 seconds to dry. Scrubby for both show us no color variation, and we're not getting it. And the smear test, there's a very good chance you could recover if you smeared while you were writing. Resistance tests are done to see how this ink can be expected to perform on a page, and more importantly, how hard it may be to clean from your pen. The smear is allowed to dry for 3 days before testing it. Looking at the highlighter, it makes the highlighter fluid look a bit dirty, and it does spread a little bit. I wouldn't use it in a note-taking situation, but I do think you could recover just about everything that you wrote if you did. Now, water is reactivating and lifting most all of this ink off the paper. Pen flush is doing quite a bit more and really showing a lot of the white of the paper coming through. The 1/3 bleach solution is completely removing it. Now, with all of that, it only took water to get this out of my pen. The next writing sample is done on life paper. No bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade. The extra fine is a little bit lighter than the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 15 seconds to dry. The medium is the same tone as the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 20 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both shows no color variation, and we didn't get any. And the smear test, strong chance to recover it if you smear while you're writing. For the inks tested, the average viscosity was 2.5, and the realm of normal was 2.1 to 2.9. KWZ's Azure number 5 has a viscosity of 2.17, making it normal. If you're interested in how the viscosity tests and all that's done, then there's a link to that video down in the description. Now, let's take a look at Levenger paper. No bleeding or ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine is lighter than the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 10 seconds to dry. Medium is the same tone as the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 13 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation, and we're not getting any, and the smear test you could recover if you smeared while you were writing. For the inks tested, the average dry time was 17 seconds, with a realm of normal being from 13 to 21 seconds. KWZ's Azure No. 5 has an average dry time of 22 seconds, making it take just a little bit longer than normal to dry. The last writing sample is done on Franklin Christoph paper. Now, we do see where it's going a little deep on the stub. The extra fine seems to do fine, and the medium seems to have some spots where it's getting quite deep into the page. None of this is coming all the way through the paper, and I don't think it would stop most people from using the back of the page. The 1.1 has no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine is lighter than the stub with no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, and 9 seconds to dry. Medium is the same tone as the stub. No feather spread, halo sheen, no shade, 12 seconds to dry. Scrubby for both shows no color variation. We didn't expect it. We didn't get it. In the smear test, there's still a strong maybe that you could recover if you smeared while you were writing. Instead of finding inks that look like KWZ's Azure No. 5, I'd prefer to find an ink that complements its color on the page. I decided to go with a nice red, KWZ's Iron Gall Red No. 3. If you'd prefer a different complement color, then down in the description are links to those playlists. So what do I think of KWZ's Azure No. 5? A nice dark blue that is a little punchy on the page. It has nice tone variation by pen. It can shade. It just rarely does. For the most part, the color goes down very solid. So what nib and pen will give the best writing experience from this ink? I really liked its darker, punchy tone that I got from a wet, broad pen. I hope you got something out of this video, and in the next video, we're going to take a look at Roher and Klinger's Sepia.